Hey, what's up, guys? It's Asada. Thank you for coming for another day of Gathering of the Griots. We are here to rock and roll with a sister has a lovely collection of children's books. I am so excited. Angela Priso is going to do it. But before we get started, let's give props to the female solution because without it, we wouldn't even be here. So if you don't know what the female solution is, you're about to know right now. Take a look and don't go nowhere.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
All right. So again, you're here at Gathering of the Griots every Tuesday morning. We are here bringing you more lovely Black writer essence. Okay. And so today we have a sister on. Her name is Angela Priso. Ooh wee. And before I bring her on, I kind of want to share the energy she brought to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair this past summer. Let's take a look at that because she ain't playing with you. Look at this. Let me get that play. Hold up. Man, see, look, y'all playing games. She had a lot of energy going on, just movement, activity, people. Without further ado, let me bring my lady on to the stage. Let me see my girl. There she is. How are you, Angela?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, okay, good. I'm so happy that you're here as well, my darling. You brought such energy to the book fair. I mean, I can't even tell you what it did, but I want to get into your books. Now, you look a little choppy right now in terms of your movement. So I'm going to see if that changes. Let me switch a few things around. And let me just ask a quick question about your inspiration for these titles. And well, before we get into the inspiration, when did you start writing these books? Because I didn't know. And then I was all of a sudden, I saw your work like boom, like, oh my God, she really is doing great work. So when did you start writing these books and what was your inspiration for taking our children around the world? Because we're going to show people what they're about.
Well, again, I'm happy to be here. Technically, I started writing these books when I was a little girl. I have had ideas and wanted to know more about Africa and traveling. And the encyclopedia was my best friend. So that's how I would figure out things with travel. As
Okay.
far as the actual physical books, I started this time last year with them. I found myself with a lot of time on my hands, and I said it's time to put it to paper. But I've been writing since I was a little girl.
Wow. Okay. And then look at this. This is your first book here, right? Tiny
It's
Travelers.
yes, it's
Talk about this. Yeah, talk
mhm.
about this.
Uh, so it was learning to say hello around the world. I didn't really see, in my childhood, I don't recall seeing books about different cultures or, African American children, unless it was kind of surrounded around tragedy, if that makes any sense. So usually it was a lot of our like national icons. So, Martin Luther King, which of course we love him, but he paved the way for so many of us. But I wanted to show another set. So those stories are definitely important. I just wanted to show children just being, just existing. I wanted to show little Black characters as the main character and, showing everyone else things which we know happens. It's just not always presented in that way.
Exactly. And I love
Mhm.
the images. And you're so it's so funny you say that because what we all they used to have books on Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass,
Yeah,
Rosa
yeah,
Parks. It's like, what's wrong with you? Kids want to know more than that. That's boring. It's like, what are you
yeah.
talking about? Right. But you chose to take it a step further and you went international with it. Why did you do that? Like, what is we could have just dealt with, Southside. Are you from Chicago?
Yeah. I'm from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's Gary.
Okay, good. You could have just dealt with that, right? But you chose to
Mhm.
go global with it. Why global?
I went global because I think it's necessary. I think that it's necessary in the African American community, and of course, My husband is from Cameroon, and
Mm.
he just helped offer an avenue for me to get to what I was already had in my mind. Again, from the time I was younger, I was always curious about Africa, curious about where I came from. My husband or my dad used to tell me, you all are here, but we're from Africa. We're from a place. So this just helped me navigate to that place. Through my actual work that I do, I have been able to travel as well for medical purposes. And it just fueled it even more because I feel like children and adults here, sometimes we have an incorrect idea about what happens in other parts of the world, on other continents. And I just wanted to try to bring a truer vision of that to our children.
And I'm so happy you did because I had a chance to take my students to Africa back in the 90s and it
Yeah.
changed the entire worldview. It didn't
Yeah.
change their view of themselves, period. Like to see Black people on the plane, Black pilots, Black stewardesses, like it really was like a big shift and it did a tremendous amount for their self-esteem, all of it. And
Mhm.
so I love that you did that. And at first I thought you were just dealing with Africa, but then I saw India and some other
Yeah.
places. Like, so what was the research like for this book series that you have, these tiny travelers? Because I'm sure you couldn't just pick it up and oh, whatever. But did you have interactions with these other cultures, or how did you choose the
Mhm.
cultures? Those.
So it's a combination. I've visited some places like Qatar, and so, and I've had, colleagues from different places. I've researched online. So it was a lot of research. It wasn't simple. And I wanted to make sure I was bringing factual information. So I checked
Mhm.
and checked again and then checked again. So it's a lot that goes into making these tiny little picture books to make sure they're accurate for our children and give a true depiction about what's going on in the world. Yeah, so my research, I would say, is intense. So it's either from travel, from personal connections, or from my own actual research. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Now talk a little bit about the feedback from customers, because I'm sure they're beautiful when we see them. So what have
Mhm.
customers said about, the books and
Mhm.
how they're impacting them when they see them?
Yes. I have had amazing feedback. I've had people tell me, "Oh, I'd never even heard of this place, but I'm
Mm,
curious about it now." Or, my children really enjoy. They pointed at the books. Again, my feedback has been from surprisingly adults and their own curiosity, even
yeah.
more so than their children, which was unexpected, but is welcome. because we
Yeah,
all need to change our worldview here in the United States, because it's changing whether we decide to to change it or not. We have to figure out we're not the center of everything, that the world is so
right,
much bigger, right? And
right.
we need to find our place in it because it's shifting right now.
It's definitely shifting. And I mean, you were doing tremendous energy at the book fair. I want you to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about your presence at the book fair because man, it was energy, it was people, it was talk a little bit about that experience because that's what we saw in a few minutes ago.
Right. Well, first and foremost, I think it's absolutely amazing that you do this. The Soulful Chicago Book Fair is so important, and kudos to you for the organization and everything. So I want to start there. Uh, the actual book fair was just magical. Actor Malik Whitfield partnered with me during that event, and it, like you said, it was just magical. He has the best personality. I told him, I was like, how do you play this treacherous character? And you're just the sweetest, kindest human being that I've ever met. So we had a good time. People came out, people enjoyed all the booths. He went around and connected with other people there. Well, we had a good time. It was a very good event. Absolutely.
Thank you, girl. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I was like, what? You and what was so dope, you actually had a spot on the news. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh baby, you better rock it. Look at y'all. Look at this, y'all. They were
Hmm.
on the news, ABC, rocking and rolling, and was able to talk about the book fair. There's Malik Whitfield there. And I mean, talk about that experience because what did it feel like? It was great promotion for me. I was like, go ahead, girl, get that doggone thing. So go ahead. What was that like for you being on national television?
Oh, that was surreal. I still, pinch myself like, did that really happen? Cheryl Burton was just an amazing host. She's so gracious. I grew up watching her on television. So I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I was here. I was actually
Mhm.
there. I was actually in the green room, that you
Right.
hear about things. So it was really cool. Definitely the nerves got the best of me, but I tried to
Yeah.
at least get the information out there. It was one of the first interviews that I've done, so I've gotten more comfortable. I'm finding my feet a little bit better now. But
Okay.
yeah, it was amazing. She asked all the right questions. I was very happy to be able to speak about the event. So
Sure.
hopefully, we got some people to come down and spark some more interest. Yeah.
Oh, it was great cross promotion, honey. I said, that's right.
Yeah.
Hercules, Hercules. Go ahead and do that
Hercules.
thing. And so I even have my own experience with Malik Whitfield at the book fair. There it is right there. Boom,
Yeah,
bam.
I
Thank you, ma'am.
see.
And how did that connection come to play with the brother, connecting with your books? And he did a
Mhm,
great job, even on the interview, talking about the
mhm.
role of literary growth and him as an actor, storytelling, and the like. How did that connection come about?
Yeah, so first and foremost, like I said, Malik Whitfield is just an amazing human being, number one.
Mhm.
He's a father and an advocate for children's literacy. And yeah, he made the decision to just, partner with me with this. He really during the interview say, hey, let's, support this mission and this goal to make sure that our children have more representation in books, that they're able to, see themselves when they open up textbooks. So I think his support came mostly from his true beliefs in what I'm doing in this mission. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. You were the important piece, baby. I want to keep that
Oh.
rolling. Now, let's look at this a little bit. Some of your other books, because
Mhm,
I mean, they are just beautifully illustrated.
mhm,
Talk
mhm.
about this Amina's Wildlife Adventure. Talk about your focus, because your focus is not just on this is the
Yeah.
place, this is the flag, this is the talk about what you wanted to achieve, let's say, with this title.
Okay. So it's almost like a deconstructed version of what I did as an adult. So I was able to go
Mhm.
on safari when I was in Tanzania.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
when I tell you that that was one of the most amazing things for me, we went. Oh, so sorry. Let me get this off here. We went right past Kilimanjaro, and we went to the Ngorongoro crater. And I was just able to see, lions and wildebeest, and again, one of those moments where you can't even believe that it is really happening. So I wanted to present, wildlife for children, and in different countries, in different places. I also wanted to focus on conservation. Here we have our zoos, and we could get into all sorts of political conversations about that. I'll try not to take it too far, but again, I want children to see that there is a different way of life where animals can exist, or people can, where we're not encroaching on the earth so
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
of
Our
course.
footprint is so large and so unnecessary sometimes. And I feel like that's the United States culture. That's the mindset that we have, the Western culture. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I just like to show a different way. So for me, that's my mindset. Hopefully the children sees it as, pretty picture books with animals, and we need to treat animals kindly,
Nice. That's right. Infuse the
Yeah.
vision, the messages,
Yeah.
right? Now, when you look
Exactly.
at your titles, I'm even looking at the Moonlight Bloom.
Yeah.
So enchanting. What is that energy that you see? And I love how you're portraying little black girls because they got
Yeah.
their natural hair, the
Yeah.
braids, the ribbons. Like, what is that book about? The Moonlight Bloom.
Yes. So the Moonlight Bloom is based in Mali, and that's from my
Mm,
reading about some Mali traditions. And for me, again, I needed the little girl to be her own hero, right? So she is the main character. She's helping her grandma, she's helping her community. And while it is a scenario that wouldn't necessarily happen in the United States, the information can be extrapolated for, children are so smart. I want them to know that, they can be their own hero. One of the
yeah,
most shocking things for me the first time I stepped foot in Africa was driving around and seeing billboards. And that seems very benign. It's like a billboard. Every billboard had people who look like me and you on it.
right.
Whereas in the United States, I remember a time when I was a little girl, you could barely find, it just didn't happen that often. And now I would say we're better, but still there's a certain, I think, type of black person that is, you know, palatable for
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that. And we just have to find the beauty in ourselves and teach that to our children. And America would be a better place, trust me, if all people recognize that everybody needs the support, everyone needs that platform. We all, I mean, we give so much. We
yeah,
just really need, and that's what the books are about. I want the children to see that I have natural hair. I don't straighten my hair. I have it in
right.
years, and yeah, that's what I want. I want children to be happy and proud of those things.
That's right. We got a comment here. This is from Naima. Thank you, Naima. This is the founder of the Female Solution. She said, that's a great way to teach children about nature, talking about the book here
Yeah.
with your wildlife adventure. I love,
Mhm.
the different lessons that are there. Just the books in general. You did such a wonderful pictorial job. Look at this, celebrating festivals around the world. Talk
Right.
about that bad boy because I taught a
Mhm.
class years ago and I mean,
Mhm.
we went over the Festival of Lights for India
Yeah.
and all kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So talk a little bit about that because people have
Mhm.
no clue and you featured it again here in a book. So go ahead and talk about that.
Right, exactly. So again, festivals around the world. I will continue to go back to the fact that we have here in the United States a focus on what we do, right? And it's hard to, if that's how you're raised, sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? So it's not by intent or by maybe it's designed someone else, but not personal design. Is if you don't know, if you haven't had those interactions. So I chose different countries and just show different festivals, and is to spark curiosity about travel, and is just to inform that everything is not just Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. It's I remember a funny story with
Exactly.
my my bonus children are here, and
Mhm.
having to like come to terms with the fact things like Thanksgiving and a lot of American holidays, Fourth of July. Yeah, that's Fourth of July for America, but then Cameroon has their own national holiday,
Yeah,
just like every other country does, right? But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, is we don't think about that. Every other area learns about America and us and what we do. We don't, and the school system when I was growing up, I went to Catholic schools. We didn't have that access to that. You'd have to have a
Mm,
parent who either did and took you further, or you'd have to have that curiosity. And again, you don't know what you don't know, right? If you're a kid
mhm.
in school and they're teaching you things, you're trusting that the adults are giving you a well-rounded view of what you should know, and it just doesn't happen.
How important is that to just
Yeah.
be global? Like, what in the world? It's such a large globe out there, and it's
Yeah.
so many cultures out there. And like you said, you don't know what you don't know. And if we
Mm-mm.
aren't teaching it at home, we're
Yeah.
not getting it. So I think you've done a great job at helping us as parents go ahead and tell stories that we may not know, period, point
Mhm.
blank. And that, man, I don't know what gave, was there are you from, is your family from, I know you're from Indiana, but do you have another culture outside of your husband's presence as, being from Cameroon that made you say, I'm going to go culture deep up in here?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
are you from a different culture?
I am from Gary, Indiana. We are all from a different culture, right?
You already
Um,
know,
so,
right?
all right. So I've done my ancestry DNA. I don't know. A lot of people feel differently about that science, but it showed that it was primarily from I'm from Cameroon, Nigeria, and Congo. I think a lot of
Mm,
us who are in Chicago, Michigan, Gary, we're from those people that came up, from the South and kind of made that trek on the outskirts. And now we're talking, geography. But I think just DNA wise, that's the people who we are. So a lot of people don't subscribe to that. I absolutely do. I've seen it for myself. I've gone to the Cameroon and I've seen people who look just like my neighbors. I mean, I feel like I'm at home. My husband looks like my relative, like my male relatives. So and it's more, and I've seen people like when I was in Tanzania who are absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. They just don't look like me. So I know, I mean, I wouldn't need a DNA test to tell me that I'm not the same people from East Africa, but I actually saw for myself. We don't look like them. I look like the people from
mm,
Central and West. So yeah.
look at this. Speaking of looking like, my girl Bridget says here, love the visuals. Not sure if it was intentional, but this character looks like this could have been you as a little girl.
That's
That's
so funny.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll take it. I receive it.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people do. You don't notice. My brother's an artist, and a lot of
Yeah.
his characters would look like him, right? But
Mhm.
you'd be surprised that, look at those almond shaped eyes,
Yeah.
same as that. Look at that little girl. Where that little girl? Let me show her. Show her again. Big time. You know what I'm saying? Those almond eyes, and that,
Yeah.
like you said, this reflection of you. Like, you may not have planned it, but it is a
Right.
thing. And again, you're going to get little girls that look at this and say, man,
Yeah.
that's nice. And I love that she got on a little sari right here, little,
You're right.
or a little cultural group. What
Yes.
kind of cultures other than African have you focused on in these books, especially a book like this one?
So we hit a lot with Asia, India. So really, I would say, probably Asian culture is the one that's probably the largest because I go
Okay.
to like China, Japan. Um, I had such a large purchase from Japan of my
Wow.
books. I mean,
Wow.
my mind was blown. And then I looked back at some of the pictures of like the Asian cultures. I was like, these pictures are beautiful. So I don't know if like some schools are teaching it or, brought the books or
Okay.
that. But yeah, I mean, I just try to hit on everywhere.
I
Yeah.
love it. And here's the thing. We can hit on everywhere and have the main character be Black.
Yeah.
That is a
She's
thing we don't have to worry about. Like, we
right.
have to start doing that, making ourselves the pivotal character so that people feel like this is from the point of view of us
Right.
versus the point of view of others who make books in their cultures, which is fine. But it's
Uh,
okay for the main character to be Black, and we don't have to feel apologetic about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's important.
Yeah, that's the key word right there. We unapologetically,
Yep.
because why? Or what are we apologizing for? Like you said, other cultures do. Even within the United States, you can have pictures, and I would like, you know what I would like? I would like to normalize. Um, in America, not having a certain group or look being normal. I went to school, if that makes any sense. I went to school in a predominantly white school and a school system. And when I tell you that the natural conversation is like, like normal or like normal. And again, not my friends' fault. It's just what America is. It's not, some other children's faults. When you go to the store and you buy something of different skin tones, right? You have nudes and you have normal. Normal is rarely my skin tone, right?
That's
No,
right.
with
Right.
anything. This is
Right.
never normal. This
Right.
nose, these lips, this
Yep.
skin, this hair,
Yep.
this is never normal. This is always an extreme. But guess what? It's very normal. It's how God made me. It's
That's
how
right.
God made you and made a lot of people who are very important, who have contributed a lot to this world. It's what our children look like. And
Yep.
we need to empower them to love it. I mean, and the world
Yes.
has to just accept it. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah. I
Bridget
want
says
kids to
here
know that
again.
somewhere else in
It's
the world we're accepted, right? It's just this is such a
exactly.
small microcosm of what what everything is here in America. Yeah.
Absolutely. Bridget says we are the main character in the world. Boop, boop,
Yes,
boop. Let
that's
that be
right.
known. Thank you, Bridget. Let it be
That's right,
known
Bridget.
that,
Mhm.
we don't
Yeah,
want to go to the beginning of man. The first
right.
human found was an African woman. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. So I love that you've taken on the charge to
yeah,
make us central in our focus for the books, and that they're out there, they're going out there. You've even, and I'm gonna show a little video, you've even shown you've gone to Africa and took the books to a school, right? Let's just
yeah.
show that real quick. We'll show some
Mhm.
stills later, but before we go to commercial break, I just want to give a precursor. Y'all take a look at this on her way to a school. Check it out.
Il dit que c'est maintenant qu'il voit qu'il a mis 14 à cause de sa maison. Il a commencé à rire, il me dit que mais vraiment le pays, c'est là.
Now, those books are in French, are they not?
They are. Yes, some of my titles are in French, particularly the ones about my husband's culture. He comes
Mm-hmm.
from Cameroon. It is a country that claims to be bilingual, which I feel like French is more prevalent or yeah, so I definitely had the books printed in both, or did them in both English and French.
I
A
love
lot
it.
of my friends from Cameroon are English speaking, so
Okay.
it was necessary to have things that make the books accessible to all children in Cameroon for me. So English
Nice.
and French, yes.
Nice. Well, guys, we're getting ready to go to a commercial break, but I do want you to recognize that her website is below,
Yeah,
tickering across the screen, angelapriso.com. So very easy to find. We want to get those books in mass. They're so beautiful. But let's take a quick commercial break. And guess what? She is going to be at our book fair in February. So,
Mhm.
yes, I love that. But let's take a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere because we got more in store about what is the background of these books. It's steeped in truth. Okay. So, we'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Ashada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs. But beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, she could have been here today if you wasn't here, but if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors, we have nonfiction authors, we have fiction authors. This is really good, and it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I gotta work, but I can't help it. Everything going to school. Now I just about bring my African shit like this. Bring in the African shit.
Look at that there, y'all. Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. There it is, right there. February 15th. You see that across the screen at the bottom. If you are an author, good. Go register. We still have some places left for you. There's the website, soulfulchicagobookfair.com. And believe it or not, y'all, we take donations. Yep, these events are wonderful, but they do cost. People like to definitely donate. Good. We got a little cash app for you if you want. Asada Thrives, $ Asada Thrives. Go ahead on if you want to make some donation right up in there. And then if you want Zelle, just talk to me later. But the main thing is soulfulchicagobookfair.com. We are bringing the flavor. I like to say we're bringing the realness, feel this to the Black History Book Fair in February, and that's February 15th to be exact. So without further ado, let me take away this and bring my girl back, Angela Priso. So glad to have you with us here today, my darling. I'm going to put your website back up because your books are beautiful. I love that you're focusing on the world. They are just so aesthetically pleasing. And so you have a background, though, to this. This is what I love. She not just talking the African talk, she walking the African walk. And so when you talk about your experiences, I actually have images of you in Africa. And I think even with hubby, I'm gonna bring up a few things, but you tell me a little bit about them. We'll get to hubby in a minute too, but talk a little bit about that's you and your friends and books. But hold on. Oh, wait, I can't go to Africa just yet. You have a book coming up that is not a children's book, and I do want to deal with this. Talk a little bit about this. This is very important. Please.
So this is something that's very important to me, very dear to and close to my heart. When I was in Cameroon and other places, I've had adults ask me if I wrote any other types of books that maybe they're not into children's books or whatever, but graphics and such, that's my passion, cartoons and all those things. So all that to say that I am a breast cancer survivor. It's been years now. 2016, I think, was my last treatment. So we're approaching 10 years by the grace of God. And I have had, this book has been a in the making for 10 years.
Wow.
And I just, had the heart after finally writing children's books and putting things down to go ahead and do this. And these words just flowed so easily.
Mm.
It just feels so spiritual, so important to me, so necessary. It is, I mean, I don't know if I should say this or not. It is a good read. It is a good, easy
Of
read.
course you can say
It's
that.
over 200 pages, but it has images and it just depicts what I went through on a very condensed level because there's so much more that goes into this. But anyway, the
Mm.
name of the book is Because They're Boobs After All, and it's a graphic memoir of breast cancer and resilience.
Wow.
And yeah, I named it that because of two things. So just as a woman, it's like our breasts are so important. They feed our babies. We can feed. We're the only humans that can, sustain life from our bodies, right? They grow inside of us, and then our breasts are there to feed. But then our breasts can also be objectified, or we can put them on display. It's so much that can be done with them. And so then when you have this horrible disease and it comes into your life and the treatment is removal, it's like, sometimes in medicine, it's like, oh, just remove your breast, and it'll, but it's a big deal. So it's kind of a tongue in cheek type of title because they're just boobs after all. But then it's serious too, At the end of the day, if these breasts are keeping you from having more time with your family, then you have to address it. So it's kind of a dark humor, but it's spiritual. I'm just so proud of it. I'm very proud. And I just implore anyone who has ever been touched by breast cancer, interested in knowing about it or my story, to get the book. I have parts in there for men. I have some football references. It was just,
Wow.
I'm so proud of this, is just what I could say.
So
Yeah.
now
And
this is available on your website as well?
it's available on my website. It's available on Amazon. And I know we don't do Black Friday, but for buying Black Friday, I have
Mhm.
the hardback version of it is so beautiful, in my opinion, and would be so nice on a table or whatever. So I have the price of the hardback Lord even less than the paperback for the next week. I'll keep the price very low.
Got you.
So yeah, it's just as my gift because I think I think people should read it, honestly.
I love
My
it.
husband enjoyed it. Of course he would, but I think it's a very good book, honestly. Yeah.
My guest last week or the week before, Rash, before that actually, she had breast cancer, survived it as well. So this
Yeah.
is something that is relevant to a lot of people. And so I love that you did this for the adult population to learn a
Mhm.
little bit about your mind and how you deal with issues, and the fact
Yeah.
that you have you said it's 10 years in the making. So the fact that you
Amen.
got it out, bravo, bravo. I'm glad I got on pink
Mhm.
right now, baby. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm right in tune with the consciousness of this.
Right.
So thank you so much for having this. Definitely wanted to touch this before we even went into your world in Africa and what have you. Because you have so much. Now, let me overstand something, because if that book was 10 years in the making and you were dealing with that, you said it's been 20 something years since your survival, correct?
So, this is really tricky, but I initially found a lump in my breast when I was 19 years old in college.
Wow.
And back then, technology was different. It was just the risks. I think nowadays, if that was to happen, someone would take even a 19-year-old seriously. But back then, I went to the campus doctor. That's why my parents sent me to the campus doctor, and they're like, "Oh, it's just your breast because they, hormonals, your cycle, whatever." So
Hmm.
we just forgot about it. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just forgot about it really for
Wow.
over 20 years. And
Wow.
what's even more curious is that I'm in medical imaging. So yeah, the technology that's used to find this was right there under my thumb the entire time. And to be
Wow.
honest with you, I'm the person who found it. I
Isn't
had
that
gone to
something?
the doctor a year prior, and they told me no, that it was just cyst, which is what I was told in 20 years prior. But for an entire year, I suffered, and in my mind and in my spirit. And so one day, I just went and got an ultrasound machine and took my bra off and fumbled around there. And I'm like, well, by golly, what are we looking at here? I have an advanced degree in medical imaging as a
Wow.
yeah, so I know what I'm looking at. So when I got one of the
Right.
physicians that I work with, he confirmed it. As Black women, we have dense breasts, right?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
a lot of times, and it's not just my story, and it's shocking how common it is that because of our
Mm.
dense breast, we can get told no. I had all clean mammograms. My mammograms never
Okay.
showed
Wow.
it was, yeah, conventional mammography. So I always needed an MRI, and I needed, or 3D. I think 3D is now the norm, so that's
Okay.
helpful. But I always tell Black women or any woman, that has dense breasts, and dense doesn't always mean large,
Okay.
that you got to push and advocate for yourself, because people will let you die. You look
Wow.
up, and it's everywhere. So you have to
Wow.
advocate for yourself. If you feel something within your body, you have, and these are things that I know, and it still happened to me. So
Yeah. Deep.
yeah, yes,
Well,
we have a
I'm
long
glad
way to
you
go.
we got a long way to go, but you on that journey, people can actually help follow you through
Yeah,
that journey. And it's so important that you've, like I said, taken the charge to address the issues across, whatever. I love that whatever's coming out of you, you're addressing through a book. That's
yeah,
important. People don't understand that
that
power.
part.
You can address what you feel through a
Hmm.
book, big
Yeah.
time. Now, I want to
Hmm.
show another little video because it does give you our journey into Africa with you. Take a look at this, y'all. Take a look.
Bonjour. Maybe does Paul have a phone to take over? Here we go.
Look, I'm an educator, and y'all American teachers be complaining about 30 kids to a room.
My God.
Hmm.
My
What?
God. Right.
What? That ain't no 30 kids. That's a whole bunch and they were well behaved, meaning they weren't all over the place, which says a lot about how they took the environment. So talk about that experience. That was in Cameroon with the little
Yeah.
babies, right?
Yes. Asada, I'm going to take it even a step further. It was a lot of
Come on.
children. They were well behaved. And guess what? These children
What?
are top scholars. They're so
Wow.
smart with
Wow.
so little. So smart with so little. My
Mm.
goodness, if we had a handful of that and could understand what it is, what it takes to, get the importance of education across our children, to
Mm-hmm.
help them understand, behaving, and just again to be in a astute setting and mindset. My goodness, how far would this
Yes.
world be? Yes.
I love
Uh,
it. I love it.
I'm so happy that and honored that the public school of Oza let me come in and present school supplies to the children and copies of the
Nice.
books. Yeah, it was just an
Nice.
honor. Yeah, children are
Look at that.
amazing.
And look at those images. Those kids
Yeah,
are happy, baby. They are
they are.
smiling and reaching out for those books big time. And so,
Yeah, yeah,
how did it feel in that moment, though? I know when I went to Africa, the population, the people is baby dense. You
beautiful.
when the kids come around you, the kids come around you. But
Yeah,
what emotionally were you feeling at that moment doing that work?
yeah. It is everything. The level of pride and happiness, and joy. I don't know that I have words for. My books are important for children in Africa as well. We have a person that is a leader of this country right now who made some disparaging remarks about the continent. And
Mhm.
guess what? Everything is beautiful there. They have their social issues just like we have here, but the land, the food, the people, beauty, beauty, beauty. And trust me, that's why a lot of these wars and things are happening so that people can get access to their resources. So it was
Mhm.
important to me to show these little children that where you're from is beautiful.
Mhm.
Happiness and joy and success isn't always outside of where you are. It's within you, and where you have access to everything that this planet needs right here where you are. Build,
I love it.
make it beautiful. So I wanted African children to have pride too, because again, my own bonus children are from there. Africa, the continent, the different countries, Nigeria, Cameroon, wherever. They're not always
Mhm.
somewhere to escape. Sometimes
Yeah.
you say, yeah, you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I was so honored to be able to bring that to those children. So I'm like, I could
Nice.
teach children on both sides some type of,
See?
of pride. And that was everything to
Appreciation.
me.
Because colonization happened as well as
My
slavery,
goodness.
guys. And so
My
when you
goodness.
got people invading lands and making people feel bad about themselves, and African women bleaching their skin, and we
My
wearing
goodness.
wigs over there just like we wearing them here, so
My
that
goodness.
attack on image is a
Hmm.
thing that is
It
global. So
is.
I'm glad that you addressed it. And look at this. I know who this is. I know who
That's
that
me and my husband.
is.
Yes.
All right, that's
So
you and your husband in Cameroon?
yes, in Cameroon. So this is
Yep.
one of the areas. It's in one of our books, and that's in Dome Discovers Cameroon. And so when I
Mhm.
was there this last visit, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we? Oh, that's our house we're building.
Oh,
Wouldn't it
go
be
ahead.
cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we, and it's really near this, close to this waterfall, if we visited some of the spots in the book to show people that this is actually real, these are real places. It's not like
Oh, wow.
imaginary. Yeah, it's not a fairy tale. It's
Yeah.
actual places. So we didn't get to visit as many of the spots as I wanted to, but this was one of them. It's called Cribby, and that's I always want to say Lobe. Yeah, Lobe Falls. So there's a spot where the river meets the Atlantic Ocean. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness. So you
ooh.
have the peacefulness of the river one direction, and you literally turn your head and you see the rough waters of the Atlantic Ocean. It's absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it's
Wow.
just beautiful.
And
Yeah,
y'all look
yeah,
at that. She said that's a house we're building. That ain't no
yeah.
doggone flat ranch house, just so you
Ah,
know. That ain't no little
yeah,
what they call a small tiny house. No. That's looking
yeah,
kind of mansionish if you ask me.
yeah.
It's looking pretty
Yeah, yeah,
big.
yeah,
So I love that. We got a
yeah.
comment from my girl Deborah that says, "Look at our future in the children of the world. Thank you for sharing." So look,
Amen.
seeing your work,
Amen.
baby. Seeing
Amen.
your work, and it's real. Come on, guys. And it's
Yeah.
doable. This is something that me can make a
Yes.
decision, you all, to
Yes.
do. We don't have to just be local and have
No.
these experiences. No, it's a lot that we can share. Look at the
Yeah.
babies here. Just some more of this. Look at this. Bam. Holding up
I
your books. Are
know.
they holding up your books?
Those are the school supplies. Got them
Oh,
some,
nice.
pencils and erasers and bags and things. Yes. Yeah, it was.
I love it. Look at that.
I'm telling you, it blessed
Evident.
me more than it blessed them. Trust me. It was
I
amazing.
know. I could
Yeah.
only imagine how I felt. I'd have been crying like, "Hey, the baby."
Yeah.
Ee-hee.
Yeah.
Now this
Mhm.
is Africa. Is this a radio
Yeah.
station world?
Yeah. I did a
Talk
couple of
about it. What are you
podcasts.
doing?
I did a couple of podcasts there. This is my little cousin Leonel. He was so resourceful, so helpful for me. When this is my family over there. So I got brothers in Cameroon as a little nephew, with helping me get connected with media. And so I did a couple podcasts while I was
Nice.
there. I was picked up by the Cameroonian News Association with
Ooh.
a story. So yeah, they were so good to me. But every time I go to Cameroon, I'm never happy to come back here. So
Ah, man, look at that. I love
my
that you
husband's
have it
like,
there
come
to
on back
do.
home. Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, look, can
Yeah.
you get dual citizenship there? I know a lot of African countries are looking at that now.
They they don't, and they just had another election, and their current president that has been in power surprisingly for over 40 years. Talk about, meanwhile, our minds and stuff are on Gaza Strip and all the stuff. Meanwhile, places in Africa, people are really suffering. So in Cameroon, there's some
Wow.
suffering based off of political. But again, we won't get too political. But
Not too political today. We'll do it another show, baby.
yeah, right. Not today, but so to answer your question, no, there's no opportunity
Okay.
for dual citizenship there.
That's all right.
Mhm.
There's an airplane back all the time, baby. Make it clear. Look at you here, honey. Look at you on the
Mhm.
front, on the
Yeah, yeah,
waterfront. Talk a little bit about
yeah.
this location.
So where the canoe is, that's still Cribby, and Lobe Falls. To the right, that's still Cribby as well, but this is a
Hmm.
different part. There, my favorite restaurant is off of those rocks. I'm telling you, I've been blessed. God is blessing me. I ordering my steps and I'm following the path. I don't turn down. I
Nice.
don't say no to yeah, just an open heart, open mind to everything. And
I love it.
yeah, so where the rocks are, just a few feet away, I was having dinner with my sweetie baby.
Hey, come on,
The
baby.
waves crashing and
Hey, in the
yeah,
motherland. This right in the motherland. There's so
yes.
much to share. Look at this. What are we looking at here?
So that is the Monument of Reunification. That's another location that's in
Mm,
the books. And again, I
nice.
just wanted kids to see that and adults to see that that's real. The other picture, we're in France,
Okay.
in Autriche in France. Yeah, yeah. So
Got a little bit of
yeah,
that. Look, boom, booty, boom,
uh-huh.
boom. Look at that,
Yeah.
y'all. In France, she's like, oh, let's touch the top of the Eiffel Tower. So talk a
Yeah.
little bit about both of those experiences because the other one is in
Mhm.
Africa, correct?
Right, correct. We've gone to Paris several times and then just to other
Hmm.
places in France. We've gone to like Lyon, Lille, Auches, and Italy. We travel, we get around, we move around quite a bit. And again, anywhere in the books where there is a location where like Eiffel Tower was shown, I tried to dig up some pictures to show like, hey, I've actually been here. I've been to these places. So yeah. Yeah, it's not
Nice.
just yeah.
That is so
Mhm,
important. That's why I told y'all. She's not just talking the talk through the book, she's walking the walk. And
mhm,
so you going to these places, I love the
mhm.
tone it's setting. This group, just express who this group is before we round out and look at your books again and get
Okay.
people going to those websites. Yes, who we looking at?
So this is in Tanzania, which is where all of the
Mm.
books with the Amina character was. This is a
Oh,
medical group that I work with, medical imaging,
okay.
and yes, so these are some beautiful souls, beautiful people. Is all I can say. And
Nice.
they're from around the world. Some of these people from America. I see Dr.
Yeah.
Troy on that picture. I
Mhm.
see. Oh yeah. So and some people are from Australia. I see my sister from Kenya. So yeah, people are from everywhere
Nice.
in this picture.
I
Mhm.
love it. Look at those travels. Did you ever think that you'd be traveling around the world like this, like to all
Yeah.
these different places? Was it like lifelong, like I gotta do it, or was just a message at one point to like, let's go, Globe Central?
Aside, surprisingly, it was never an intentional decision, but it was always internal, if that makes any sense. I
Mm,
follow my
yep.
spirit. Yeah, I never, when I was in Qatar for a while, people were just like, oh, you can't walk around there. You're not Muslim. You can't be a black woman there. But I did fine. I want to go back. It's
Hmm.
absolutely beautiful there. So I follow my spirit. I follow energy. I follow the spirit of God, and
Nice.
I don't say no to something unless I really feel like it's unsafe. I don't say no to other people's culture, learning,
Right.
exchanging, because it makes the world better. It makes us better as people. It makes me a better mother, a better friend, a better daughter, a better spouse,
Mm,
a better citizen if I know
right.
how to accept other people where they are and celebrate them and celebrate, everything, and not be so I don't know, Western centric. I like to expand. Yeah. So there we go.
I love it so much,
Mhm.
y'all. Look at and you can see all of your essence in your works. Look at the
Mhm.
aesthetic of your books. I'm so
Mhm.
thankful for the work. We got only a few minutes more about that. What do you see? What is the future you want for this book series? Because you said it's only been out a year.
Yes.
My gosh, a
Yep.
year, and look at all of but the traveling, the
Mhm.
makings of this, and taking your life experiences, putting them in these books. What is the future you want for this book series?
For these books, I would like to get them in more hands. When I was in Cameroon, I got a lot of feedback from areas. I was primarily in French speaking areas because that's where my husband is. I got a lot of requests for areas outside of those areas, from the English speaking areas or places that were a little bit further off. So I like to get the books in as many hands as possible for children. If they feel like it's important, if their parents do, if it represents them, then I want them to have the books. So yeah, just trying to, connect maybe with organizations or something that can help me disperse those and to do those things. So that's what's on the horizon for me, to get the books in the hands so that children can see themselves as the main character and know that, yes, we can do this. We got this. We've been here. We'll be here. And yeah, our kids need to
Look,
know this. Mhm.
look, no shade to Dora the Explorer, but baby, we can
That's
have us a
right.
little black girl going around the world animated to
That's
these
right.
different places with these different focuses. I
Yeah.
see animation in the
Yeah.
future,
Also, I should mention quickly, I have a YouTube channel where I actually do animate some of the books. And so I have music, I have my little, it's like a little cartoon for kids. So,
You
and that's
playing. I
in the
could have
root.
had that on the show, girl. You playing
I
games.
know,
Go
right?
ahead.
I just thought about
Wow.
that when you said, yeah, this creating thing is just it's a blessing to be able to express yourself in this way, things that have been inside to, like you said, let it out. So I like it.
Yeah. Where do they
Mhm.
need to go to see? We have the website at the bottom. You guys see angelapriso.com. But where do they need to go to see those animated films of your books? Where on YouTube?
So it's roots rhythms underscore stories.
Oh, let me
Mhm.
write that down, baby. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that. We got a comment. Let me look at this comment while I'm typing. My girl Wendy Williams says, "Great job. We need to care for our children's growth and development with love in a
Amen.
big way." In a big way.
And
So tell me where they need to go again. I want to type it.
so it's roots rhythms underscore stories. That's the YouTube channel.
Rhythms. Oh, so I should separate that.
So
Roots,
it should just be roots
rhythm.
rhythms
Uh-huh.
underscore and stories. That's the YouTube channel.
Got you. So I'm gonna put
Mhm.
this up real quick so y'all can go check it out on YouTube. See that roots rhythms underscore stories, right?
Yeah.
On
Mhm.
YouTube, so we can see those animated films. Girl, I wish I would have
Mhm.
known that. I'd have had them bad boys up here big
I
time.
know,
But
right?
that's okay. I just want to say big time thank you for being here today. Thank
Mhm.
you so much for doing the work you're doing. You guys that are watching, thanks for staying and sharing your comments and taking this in. Visit that website and come meet Angela at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair February 15th next year, because she will be there live and with a pen to sign. Don't get it
That's
twisted.
right.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being here,
thank
Angela.
you so much for having me,
You
Asada.
got it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Peace, guys,
Thank
and
you.
see you next Tuesday for Gathering of the Griots with another great writer coming soon. Peace.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
Hercules. We did it.
Thank you.
All
This
right.
is awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And I put it, it was streaming live on your page as well on Facebook. So
Okay.
it's there as well for people
I
to
didn't
go
know
to.
that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I went and did that when one of them times. I was like, oh, you got to go put the video there. So I did it while I wasn't on the screen.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. And I'm going to that dog on YouTube right now. Damn, Lord, I would have had them animated films. But that's okay.
I know I need to get it together. I need to get a little bit more organization. I'm working on it though.
That's okay. And those types of things need to be on your social media as well, so we can see it and then access it. So, yeah. All right, baby.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Have a wonderful day.
Do the same.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace. You got it. Bye-bye now. Let me see my baby. Oh, I was feeling so crazy at one point. I was like, please, let me get through this. Let me see. Come here. Let me see the baby. Nice. Look at that top. Nice. Oh. I love you. Love you for it, Mama. Peace. Bye.